Hi, I'm Jason Stearns. This is the second in a series of YouTube clips that I'm making describing what I believe is a good, healthy, classical vocal technique. I started off with my first clip talking about what we do, not what we think, what we feel, what we imagine, but what we actually do to sing. How do we start developing our voice? And I was talking specifically about the male voice. Well, now I'm going to talk about the female voice. I was talking in the first clip that we all have the ability to yodel. You know, the yodeling is switching back and forth from what I would call head voice to chest voice, or light voice to heavy voice. In other words, there's two different mechanisms in our throat that allow us to do this. They're basically two different muscle groups. And we can very easily, and a lot of people do this, rock and roll singers do it, Michael Jackson made millions of dollars doing this. I mean, it's not something unusual. We all have the ability to do this. Julie Andrews sang the Lonely Goat Herd song in The Sound of Music. Maybe you remember that. Yodelay, 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 ooh. You know, yodeling, in fact, over in Austria is quite an art form. Anyway, we'll get off the yodeling thing. So let's talk about the female voice. Well, and I'm talking now, I have to always be sure you understand, I'm talking about a classical vocal technique. The kind of voice technique you would use to sing a nice church solo, or maybe a operatic aria, that kind of thing, or some oratorio piece. These are all sung with a classical voice. Well, the woman's voice is, in my opinion, a little bit easier voice than a male voice, because a woman is basically singing in what we would call the light vocal adjustment, or another word would be head voice. Head voice, well, what's that? Does it come from your head? Well, it comes from that yodel, that that's head voice. Okay. Well, how do we develop that? Where do we find that? How do we incorporate that? Well, now, ladies, I'm going to play a B flat above middle C. Okay? And I want you to play around with me. You're going to take the word look. Look. What's the vowel in the word look? Like the same word, vowel in the word cook, or should, cook, would, And we're going to sing it in your light adjustment. It's not oo and it's not o, it's Does that surprise you? You see, the word soprano is a male word in Italian. It's not a female word. In Italian, a noun that ends in o, soprano, alto, they're actually masculine nouns. Well, back in the old days, sopranos and altos were men who sang. Women didn't sing on the stage. I won't go any further than that in this regard. However, they taught women to sing the way they did when it was then okay for women to sing on the stage. So the women remained sopranos, even though it should have been soprana, because is the female ending. All right. So we're going to make this sound. Is your head voice. Well, what do we do with that? Well, let's just play around with that. Let's sing up and down. That's not falsetto. That's head voice. Okay? Do it again. That's head voice. Head voice has power. Well, what about vowels? Well, let's talk about vowels. I want to talk more about vowels later, but right now, once you discover this vowel, you want to do it as straight as you can. We don't want it to be shaky or wobbly or have much vibrato. We want it to be that way. Okay, what about vowels? Let's think of that sound as a balloon. You got a balloon of sound. Okay? The vowel is just going to, like you would with a balloon, you're just going to touch the balloon. What do I mean by that? Okay, I'm going to sing E, A, A, O, U, but with head voice. Let's get the sound. Okay? Now I'm going to do with that sound, and then I'm going to go E, A, A, O, O. You don't want to squash the balloon. You don't want to crush the balloon. You just want to, I think you could hear those vowels very clearly. And yet all of them have that sound as the major part of that vowel. It isn't something that suddenly goes away, so we have clear vowels. Clear vowels are not the way we sing, not the way we speak. We go E, A, A, O, U, but that's not singing. That's singing. And that sound will fill the church, that will fill the auditorium, that will fill the opera house, and people will say, wow, that's a voice. Now remember, I'm a man, but I can sing soprano. Just think how much better you'll be when you do this. Give it a try. I think you really enjoy the difference. Okay? That's your head voice.